What's up? Welcome to Belfast. I'm at the H&W Cranes, big yellow things. There they are. One of our many famous attractions in Belfast. Today I'm shooting a bunch of photographs for a client. 3 locations. So one in Belfast, the north coast. So I have to shoot multiple shots, stitch them together, supply them to a visual artist to make them into some sort of animation. This one should be easy, sun's out, handheld. Also got to go to a couple of other locations where I might need to do some slow stuff, photographs, slow res. What's the word? Slow shutter, because they're popular spots. What I want to get from this is like a nice deep blue in the sky. So we'll put a variable ND on, and we'll be very careful not to cross hatch it. When you twist the variable ND too far and you get this weird like X in the middle. How's your shadow? That cloud. That cloud. We'll just wait for that cloud to go away. Part of what I wanted was hard shadows, right? In here, so that those are really obviously dark lines, and then that bit there is really bright. So to do that, you have to hit this at a very particular time of day, otherwise the light's in different bits and it's soft. And I need a direct harsh sunlight on it to make it pop. Right, let's get this photo done. Look at the state of my van. Cameras and tripods from shoots in Belfast this week. So much crap. Let's go to the north coast. Cargo Coffee in Bangor. It's drive-through coffee joint. If you're ever in the area and you want the hottest fucking cup of anything you'll ever put in your mouth, go to Cargo Coffee. Now if you want to burn off the insides of your face, if you want to buy a coffee in Bangor and not drink it till you're in about Ballymena on the north coast, go to Cargo Coffee. And if you work at Cargo Coffee and you're watching this, I have mentioned it previously to them quite a few times. Your coffee is too hot. This is a latte, and I got this and I drove a mile up the road and I was like, oh yeah, right enough, my milky coffee. And then I took a sip of it, and it was like putting actual fire into my mouth. It's so hot. It's the hottest liquid on planet Earth. I don't know how they get it that hot. I would never buy an Americano from them anymore unless I want to buy it in Bangor. Honestly, and drive all the way to the north coast, which is a 70-mile journey. And I honestly reckon it wouldn't be ready to drink until like 30 miles up the road. Dark hedges. This will be a tricky one because I need to look down the lane and use the trees. That. You know what dark hedges is? It plays a part in the Game of Thrones for about 5 minutes. There's a lot of roads like this around this area, Armoy kind of direction. And this is just one of them. They had to stop cars because people were just driving down the fucking road and destroying it. The only people that can go down it is the local farmers, I think. People live in the area, something like that. But it doesn't stop people being there. I've been here and there's just been fucking people abandoning vehicles all over the show. Closed to vehicles. There's always some absolute knobhead who has to drive right the fucking way down there. So I gotta get a shot looking down there, and I'm gonna use exposure bracketing as well. But there is one problem which I was trying to explain to the client because they had picked the location. Basically the problem being that a lot of these trees are dying and it's winter. In the photo they sent me, it was very dark, so the stuff was all hanging over on each side, and this was like a very dark tunnel. It's the middle of winter, and I said to them, there's gonna be no leaves on the trees. There's actually not too many people about. I thought there'd be a load of people here, so there's a little bit of a V, all right? And there is in the far end there. That shape there, this is ridiculous. But basically, I need to get really compressed on the long lens on a tripod and get those converging lines all together so that they get really tight at the end. Safety shots are a funny one. I come from film. Always grew up taking safety shots. Always one for safety. Every one's got a timer, 2-second timer and a 10-second exposure. You haven't seen this before, by the way. I remember I learned this a couple of years ago. For years I'd been fucking around moving the ball head on my thing, and then one day I realized that if you use your tripod plate on your little collar on your lens, right, let's just be careful here, and you loosen it, you can rotate your camera to shoot portrait. If you knew this, you're gonna go, oh fuck, of course I knew that, Bill. But if you didn't know this, it's gonna change your life forever. I think I got the shots that I need. Giants Causeway before that goes down. Fuck, it's gonna be tight. 20 minutes from here. There, but the shot needs to be taken from there. So we were there, and now on these rocks. Basically what I'm trying to do is this. We're gonna turn that there into a play button. The dude's gonna distort it a bit. Okay, I got that shot. I think again. Plan all week for today, for the weather, for the light, for the time. And as I get there, 3 little spides just sat there, just for like 5 minutes. I didn't even sit to see the sun go down. It just sat there to be knobheads. What I love doing in moments like this, so when you got a beautiful sunset, you got all these people here. Everyone's looking at the sunset. Everyone's taking photos of the obvious thing. I find more fascination in looking at the people. Up here, taking about 8,000 selfies. These dudes here have been killing it. She's got the gorilla pod out. Those two there are the only ones actually just watching the sunset. These guys with their dogs. Look, photos. He's on photo. Just people populating the internet with content, constantly contenting. And of course, it had to be, you know, always a knobhead with a drone. Look at that for a bloody sunset and a half. Is there a fucking hamster in this car? So, I'm back at the Giants Causeway. Wow. Look at, see how much mud is on the phone now. It's just fucking covered in dirt. Can you even? Oh my god. That's the 3rd time I've dropped this. Well, what started out as quite a simple job has turned into a bit of a pain in the hoop. But I have learned something a little bit this time. The goalpost shifted a little bit. And it's frustrating on one hand, but also sort of the nature of the world at times. As this project developed, we worked out that what we needed was something slightly different from what we'd initially discussed. So now I'm sort of shooting hyper-res images, or ultra-res, whatever you want to call them, which is kind of like image stacking, but you know, you're building a massive panorama. So picking a scene, and instead of like, so for example, instead of just shooting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you zoom right the way in, you know, to like that, and then you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like millions. You're basically making the resolution of the image super high. So in a perfect world, you'd have a ridiculous megapixel camera. I only shoot on A7 III Sony camera. For most of what I do, it's fine. But for stuff like this, it's to get that resolution, you do have to shoot a bunch of these photos. So, you know, I've never done this before. There's a path. Fuck a duck, I'm wrecked. I feel like this needs to be a full Giants Causeway walk video. Like, we need to do the whole thing properly. Do it some justice. This is gonna be a recce. for that video. Look at this. What is happening here? Mental. Anybody who's not from Northern Ireland watching this behind us is the Giants Causeway. It is pretty cool to see it. I think it is a little bit tooting its own trumpet a bit too often. Like it is good. It is a very touristy gaff. That hole looks huge. It looks fucking huge from down there. And there was a cave, it's tiny, look at it. This place is, I've never been here. How have I didn't even know you could walk up here. What's this? Why is this path closed? It's not closed. Rocks falling. This is very cool. It's one of those things, the walk from a Giants Causeway from the car park is so goddamn far. By the time you got down there, you can't really be bothered walking anymore. So the idea of hiking up here seems like a massive pain in the ass. But this path is fucking sketchy looking. Look at this. So this is the official end of it. All right, and then it goes the whole way. I know there's rockfall, we can make that. Absolutely worth it. 100%. It's going down. I am gonna fucking do an entire video about this. We're gonna walk this whole route right the way around there. You know? Broken paths or no broken paths. I'm going through that gap.